Okay then. Lem. And Baraku Wetlands. What?
The captain reached two of his prosthetics metal fingers into his shirt pocket and retrieved a screw.
Swirling scales.
I used to be their CO. Avery tightened his grip on the steering wheel as a hauler blew by in the opposite direction. What sort of action did you see? He did his best to keep a casual tone, but if what Ponder said was true, that meant he was a critical part of the UNSC's fight against the insurrection, and his presence on Harvest was just as odd as Avery and Burns. Let's not finish that, Sergeant. Trebuchet. It's in your file, Burns too, and I've spent the last 2 weeks wondering the exact same thing. The captain did the tip off this.
Hold it, Trebuchet, will you?
Why would the Corps send two of its meanest sons of bitches way out here? I was hoping you might shed some light on that, sir. Hell if I know. Ponder removed a silver lighter with a hinged top from his pants pocket, cracked it open, and began stoking his cigar. FleetCon hasn't been all that free with information, he said between puffs, then snapping the lighter shut. Since they gave me a demotion. Something clicked in Avery's head. Of course, he thought. The SEAL of a Marine battalion would be at least a lieutenant colonel, 2 pay grades higher than Ponder's current captain rank. But Avery had no idea what this meant with respect to the larger question. If anything, Ponder's revelation made things even more confusing. Demotion, sir?
Man.
He asked, treading water. I lost my arm, Ponder began. And his Elysium's too. He put one of his boots on the dash. This was back in 13.
Yeah.
Watts and his gang were just starting to show their teeth. Colonel Robert Watts, or Backmaster, amongst UNSC personnel, is a Marine Corps and sworn witness who had defended the insurrection's side early in the war. Into giving the guy up without a fight. The battalion was still 50-50. Not everyone was on any side, and I thought a little restraint might help win some hearts and minds. Avery grunted. Must have been before my time. Things were different in the beginning. There was still time to talk. A chance for peace. Ponder shook his head. Anyhow, this guy, my target, had married the daughter of one of the local officials. I thought the father-in-law would be pretty ticked when a whole armored column showed up on his doorstep. But the next thing I knew, I was in his living room sipping tea. Ponder tapped the ash with a cigar. We talked about nothing for a few minutes. Just got comfortable. Then when his wife was pouring me a second cup, I got down to it. We're looking for so-and-so. Do you know where we can find him? We don't mean your daughter any harm, etc., etc. And he looks me right in the eye. Ponder paused and stared at the Warthog slumped windshield. He looks me in the eye and says, someday we will win, no matter what it takes.
Who's bestie?
The captain flexed his prosthetic, pantomiming his memories. Then he put his arm around the target's wife, his own daughter, and raised it up like this. It took me a second to realize he had a grenade. Avery didn't know what to say, except that having inherited the insurrection from men like Ponder, he'd seen things at least as surprising, at least as tragic. I knew it was a bluff. This guy was dedicated to the cause, no doubt, but kill his whole family? Wasn't gonna happen. Ponder pulled the half-smoked cigar from his teeth and ground it into the dash. One of my snipers thought fit to him, put a hasty round through the wall of his house, tore the guy in half. But he pulled the pin on reflex. The captain shrugged. I dove to cover the blast. Things got worse from there. Tight space, jumpy soldiers, Avery knew words out of civilian casualties. insult to injury, Ponder taking a two-step drop in red. I think they wanted me to take an early retirement, but I stuck with it, the captain said. Bunch of lousy billets and worked my way up to CMT. Thought I'd let the insurrection play. He shot Avery a look that was more inquisitive than accusatory. Then along came the two of you. Again, Avery wrote, but Ponder was soon lost in more memories from that terrible day long ago, and for a while both men resumed their silence. Out in the apple orchards, Avery saw Yeomans, a pair of monstrous pickers large enough to engulf whole trees with their agitating arms. He had overheard Healy arguing with one of his recruits about the exact number of Jotuns on Argus. The corpsman refused to believe there were 3 Jotuns for every person, almost 1 million machines, until the recruit had explained he was counting all the different versions, the smallest aerial crop dusters to the 6-wheeled beasts like the ones in the orchard. It's funny, Ponder said in a way that made it clear he didn't think it was the least bit so. But at first, I missed it. My men, the combat, all of it. Took me years to realize how crazy that was. That I'd been damn lucky to get out when I did. Before things got really bad. I made a mistake. It got a lot more complicated. Avery nodded his head. Although he might as well have said, I know exactly what you mean. By now the Bifrost had begun to rise before them. They were still an hour away from the limestone escarpment. But squinting his eyes, Avery could just see dark switchbacks carving back and forth across its face as we take them up to Utgard. On either side of the switchbacks, separated by hundreds of kilometers, were 2 maglev train lines, thick monorails that angled down from the top of the Bifrost to meet the island far out in the orchards. Avery saw a long train of cargo containers glide down the southern line. The train seemed to move too quickly for the container's size, and Avery realized they must be empty, on their way to a depot where hundreds of Jotuns waited with fresh-picked loads. Maybe Fleet Com decided he needed a break, Ponder offered. Maybe, Avery said. It was as good an explanation as any. Well, why not start tonight? Have a drink. Dance with a girl. Avery smiled as finally said,
I didn't want this picture at all.
Ponder laughed and slapped his artificial arm on his
I thought you meant that.
Yes, Staff Sergeant. Yes, it is. By the time he pulled the war
I thought you meant the black one.
drive of Harvest Parliament Building, he knew a lot more about Captain Connell. A fight in the insurrection had forced him to miss his eldest son's wedding and the birth of his first grandchild. Precious occasions he missed much more than his own. As they dismounted, buttoned their coats' brass buttons, and pulled on their black-filled dress caps, Avery realized he not only trusted, but had a great deal more respect for the man who wore his SEAL's uniform. The Parliament's lobby was thick with partygoers. Men in pastel, seersucker suits, women in ruffled, scoop-neck gowns. Factions that were already out of style in core world salons, but had only just taken hold of Harvest's provincial high society. Some of the guests gawked and whispered as Avery and Ponder passed, and it struck the staff sergeant that they were the first Marines, the first soldiers some of the guests had ever seen. But as they threaded their way up a crowded granite staircase to the ballroom, some of the curious gazes turned cold. We might be a new sight, Avery grimaced, but not necessarily a welcome. It seemed the UNSC's handling of the insurrection wasn't any more popular on Harvest than it was anywhere else. Milstoon, someone bellowed from the landing at the top of the staircase. A thick hand shot out from a great swath of red and white striped fabric. You must be Captain Ponder. Governor? Ponder paused on the top step and saluted, and he extended his hand. It's an honor to meet you. Likewise, of course. Thun's grip was so strong he practically pulled Ponder up onto the landing. May I introduce you to one of my men, Staff Sergeant Avery Johnson. Thun released Ponder's hand and offered it to Avery. Well, Johnson? Thun's red beard parted in a broad, toothsome grin. What do you think of our planet? Avery had a strong grip, but Thun's was immobilizing. His hand possessed the kind of strength one got from years of farming the old-fashioned way, without assistance from a fleet of hulking automatons. Avery guessed correctly that despite his vigor, the governor was well into his 60s, that he'd been one of the first colonists to land on Harmless. Reminds me of home, sir, Avery grimaced. I grew up on Earth, Chicago Industrial Zone. Thune released Avery's hand and stabbed his thumb happily to his chest. Minnesota. My mother's and father's side both, far back as I can remember. Widening his smile, he ushered the Marines toward the doorway of a brightly lit ballroom. You're in good company, Staff Sergeant. Most everyone around here is from the Midwest. Pulled up stakes when the soil went bad. Of course, none of us knew just how much better things would be once we got to harvest. The governor snatched a champagne flute from a passing waiter and downed it in one gulp. This way. He shuffled sideways through the ballroom doorway, his girth doing at least as much to part the crowd as any deference to his office. And stay close. The show's about to start, and I want you two front and center. Avery shot Ponder a confused look, but the captain simply plunged into Thune's gap. Avery followed just as the crowd drew back upon itself, practically sucking him into the ballroom. Doing their best not to step on any toes, the Marines followed Thune to one of the many glass-paned doors in the ballroom's eastern wall that led to a broad balcony overlooking the Parliament's gardens. And beyond that was Guards Mall. Stepping up beside Thune against the waist-high granite railing, Avery saw that the park was full of revelers. Light globes tugging at their tethers in the twilight breeze illuminated knots of families sitting on brightly colored picnic blankets. Hardly any of the wall was left uncovered, and Avery was certain the vast majority of
it's a mimic.
residents were in attendance.
I have way too many of these. I will show you after.
He still wasn't quite sure. Roll! Thune's shout rang painfully loud in Avery's ears. Over here! The governor waved a hand above his head, but this wasn't necessary. Thune was taller than anyone on the balcony, Avery included.
Hello?
And the mob
I'm
was thick
turning it off.
red and gray that covered his head.
I just did. I don't grab the controller. It's on my phone. Oh, two more. Open fire. Da-da-da-da.
No, never. Hello, how are you?
Hello. I'm fine. How are you?
Great.
Two down. Now it's only on these. 1, 2, 3, 6, 5, 4. Do you need help?
No, I got dust. That's nothing.
Oh. Hello there, Dusty.
Hey.
Holy gamoly! What's up?
Hey.
One more.
This is so cute. Yeah. I love it. Hey! What
Get up!
I cleaned almost everything in the main.
What?
It looks good.
I've got.
Thank you.
Did you do the screen?
No. We got some
I brought
apples, some iced tea, some
I got some.
iced tea.
Hey, Aries
water.
cleaned most
Outside
of
is
this.
iced tea, unsweet.
Thank you.
Sun tea on the table. And
I got sodas, I got drinks
water
for
with lemon in
kids.
here.
Phineas.
Should be good. Ah!
He is tanky. Ooh, the lag. Ooh, the lag. Hope this kills the other ones. I use overdrive after this. Oh, he went right down, didn't he?
You wanna roll?
2 down. Oh, there's a dragon. I see. I see. Riptide.
There you go. Sit up.
Maybe use Vargas' ability. Yes, this is my original Vargas. The one I started with. I have collected all of the 6 legendary heroes.
Want some cheese, hon? Why?
And now, Assault, Endurance, Cinematic War Scene, Spinal Intensity. Interesting. All the damage. Dragon has been slain. Slain has been. Yes. And then, I think that was the last one. Maybe. I think this is when I get a gem or something. The usual gem after every set. I don't know if this is the last one though, so I may not. Yeah. Yep, this was the last one. Now we get to do the cutscene after. That is what I have today. So, farewell everyone. Like and favorite if you liked it. Crap, but bye.